Hey, what's up guys, it's Craft Phoenix back with another video today. And today, well, when I post this, my midterms will be over, so I'll be posting hopefully 1 or 2 videos a week. 1 at the very least, and then 2 if I feel like getting extravagant. This video is going to be a November reptile room tour. I hope it's going to be a little bit of a longer one. I'm going to go into detail of some of the stuff that I have going on. First off, we can start with the Chameleon. I already have the weigh scale out here. If those of you don't know, and this is your first reptile room you're watching, ever since I got Sheldon, which was like 1.5 years ago, something like that, I've been weighing him every month on these videos, and I basically track his progress. So we can go over to my calendar, which is still set for October, and we can look. October 1st of last year, he weighed 128.3 grams, and October 2nd of this year, he weighed 433 grams on the dot. So that's awesome. I'm really glad to see how much he's grown and whatnot. But before he starts eating too much, I just gave him a bath. That's why he's looking all nice and shiny. He has some new thing where he digs down there and just like runs around on the bottom of his terrarium. He's weighing in at 452.1 grams. So that is pretty gnarly. So talking about Sheldon's terrarium or pen or whatever you want to call it, I'm actually quite happy with the way it's turned out. I'm going to need to replace that solar glow right away. It's still shining, but it's probably lost most of its UVB content, so I'm going to need to kick in a new one here, probably around Christmas time. So this pen is 5 feet long by 2 feet front to back and 1 foot high. I have probably 2.5 to 3 inches of soil in here. Pretty much every year I will actually dump on a new layer, so that's getting close to the time of year where I add more soil, and then I can, for the new plants I'm going to be adding after midterms, because my last midterm is actually today while I film this, so this is going to be going in there after my midterm, maybe tonight, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of either putting it around here or around here. I haven't quite decided yet. Maybe over here to add a little bit of greenery to this back corner, but I'm not sure. Other than that, Sheldon's doing great. He's eating a ton, he's growing, and he's doing awesome. So if anybody has the space and the time and has done the research to get a hermanns tortoise or some of the other good beginner tortoises, which include but not limited to Greek tortoises, Russian tortoises, if you're looking for more humid tortoises like a cherry head or redfoot, even if you're looking for a bit bigger, there's the black Burmese mountain tortoise, which are awesome. On top of his pen, I actually just have a whole bunch of moss growing. It's doing okay. It's not really getting the most light, so it's not really growing a ton, but that's fine with me. I don't really care. That moss is just to be kept alive until I can basically get more tanks completed. Up top there, you can see I ended up just throwing out all of those cocoa seeds, the cocoa tree seeds. I will be retrying that probably again, maybe next summer, like when it's warm out again, because here it's starting to get pretty cold. I don't want to have them shipped, because I think they're shipping from, like, I don't know, South America somewhere. As for this wall, as I'm looking at it now, it might not work, but I was really thinking of including a rack somewhere, like whether it's here, or I was even thinking over top of my bed, like up there, having a rack and then just putting all the dart frogs on there. So I'd have probably a couple more tanks worth. I'd look at getting maybe 4 tanks total. These ones would be probably trashed, and then I don't know if I'm gonna want to rip these out and clean and like start from scratch, or if I'm just gonna sell them or trash them. I'm not really sure. But that's the idea, is having a rack of them, so I can just set up a mist king, I can have it all misting and looking all good and nice, and then I just don't have to worry about misting anything. Not quite sure what's going to happen here. I don't really want it that high just because it's kind of a pain to look up, and like even for in here, I have to like stand on top of my chair to get a good view of some of like the egg laying spots in there. So I'm not sure. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below of what you think I should do, because I'm open to suggestions. I'm not going to go over many of the plants just because I do actually plan on filming a plant update this month, because I say that every month and I never end up doing it, but I do plan on doing it this month. So just a quick overview. We have like 3 or 4 orchids, we have a hibiscus, just some random fern, we got a coffee plant in the back, a bromeliad, I don't remember what that's called, an umbrella plant, a fig tree, and then a couple guava plants. Down here, not going to go into those. These guys have been doing awesome. Their tank still looks a little worse for wear, but what's awesome is if you can see down there, those 2 little pearls, those are 2 frog eggs. Now, I think they're infertile. I'm not really sure, just because of the way they're colored. They look kind of weird. But I don't know, hopefully they're not. That would be sweet if I could get some tadpoles out of that and start having my own dart frogs. This tank is actually growing a lot. As you can see there, the bromeliad pup, there's 2 bromeliad pups developing off of this one bromeliad. So that is awesome. I cannot wait to get some bromeliad pups or new bromeliads, and then I can either sell them or I don't know what with them. But their tank looks meh. It's definitely the nicer of the 2, which is kind of nice. These are the Ranitomea reticulata. If you want to see exactly what they look like, I can leave a link on the screen or in the description. It'll probably end up being in the description. And you guys can go check out the video where I actually got these guys on camera. And climbing up here, we have the Ranitomea ventrimaculata, or vents. And these are the Borgia Ridge. You can't see them, but way back there, there's one of the frogs just popping his head out. Like just the tiniest little bit is popping out. Their tank looks absolutely terrible. This will definitely be the first tank that I like redo, because I cannot stand the way this tank looks. It's just like a sink for light, because all the plants grow right there and none of it reaches the bottom. So I almost never see these guys, but I'm hoping in their new habitats, when I set them up, they will be more visible and more active. That's the goal, at least. I really hope that's what happens. I guess staying with the dart frog theme, we'll skip the fish tank really quick and we'll come over here to the tank that I set up. And I do have a setup video, so if you're interested in that, just check the channel, and you should be able to find it pretty easily. But this is the way it's going right now. I don't have the waterfall running at the moment, because I was doing a little bit of repairs, trying to keep it more in the waterfall than seeping out the sides, because it was actually come out like right there, and it'd soak like this whole wall, which is good, but at the same time, I don't really want that. So far, so good with this tank. Everything is growing quite well. As you can see, the Swiss cheese philodendron went absolutely nuts. It's grown so much already, and it's only been like 2 or 3 weeks that it's been in there. So that is going to be a hassle, and I'm definitely going to need to be trimming that back quite frequently. That's okay. That's the nice thing about plants. I'll just get a bunch of cuttings and give them to friends or whatever. So from there, we can move on to the shrimp tank, which is doing okay, to be honest. One of my tasks in the week that I have off next week is going to be trimming this tank. Honestly, I'm going to be trimming back those guys. I think they're Ludwigia something. I don't remember exactly what, but I'm going to trim those guys right back. Trim this moss way back as well, and then throw away probably most of the water salvia, green salvia, something like that. I'm going to be throwing away most of this as well. Not all of it, just because the shrimp really like it. As you can see, there's a couple shrimp here and there. in this stuff, but it's way overgrown. I'm gonna slam back that moss like a ton, trim back this moss a ton, trim back the moss back there a ton. There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening, so I'll probably make a video about that just because, I don't know, you guys might be interested in it. Yeah, that kind of sums up the shrimp tank. It's doing well. It's not, like, a lot of the adult shrimp has kind of died off, but there's still a ton of little babies and everything is going well. As of recently, I've been kind of debating just shutting this tank down, but that's not where I'm at quite yet, so we'll see what I end up doing with it. From there, we can move on to Tig. This is the partial print stripe harlequin crested gecko, and she's doing much better. If you guys watched the October reptile room tour, she actually had a seizure in my hand, and it was a seizure. I did check it with a couple different people, and that scared the absolute crap out of me. So nothing bad has happened since. I have handled her. I've hung out with her. She's doing well. Striker, I'm not gonna pull out, but he is the OG of the group. He's the oldest leopard gecko that I have, and he's the oldest reptile in general that I have. So he's doing awesome. Can't complain about him. I actually am doing a couple experiments with my own fruit fly media. I'm gonna kill that little bastard. This is some different fruit fly media that looks like it might be growing some mold, so I'm gonna have to sprinkle some more cinnamon on there. But it's okay. This is just, like, these are just started on October 30th, so whether or not they will do well, I don't know. Just because it looks like I actually messed up when I made them, and I sprinkled the cinnamon on after, which is supposed to stop mold, but it looks like it pretty much just made it go because I had to sprinkle it on after. So it looks like there's some mold growing in there. I will definitely try and deal with that right after this video, because now that I saw it, I can address it. The mix that I made for the smaller fruit flies looks like it's working pretty well. They're all growing really, really fast. The melongaster. I don't want to spend too much time on the fruit flies because I don't have much battery left and I still have a lot of things to go over. These are Bowser and Stella. These are the red Ackie monitors. They're doing amazing. I've seen a little bit of breeding activity, but nothing too major to brag about, to write home about, whatever you want to call it. They're hungry, obviously. You can see Bows wants out. I'll feed them right after this video, but their tank is doing awesome. They're both doing great. If you watched like about a year ago, Stella was definitely not in very good condition. When I had the other cage, she was really struggling. Now she's doing awesome, and I can't complain because she's doing wonderful. Bowser has always been doing awesome. Up top here, I've basically made this tank into my planted tank. I plan to actually completely convert it, so I'm going to glue H-core plastic all around all the sides and the roof, as well as the bottom. I'll probably put in a wood bar that goes all the way across, so if I decide to fill it with anything, I can do that. I'm not going to go into all the plants up here. I'll do that in a separate video at another time, but everything's doing wonderful. This is Sky, the Merauke blue-tongued skink, as you heard. He's doing awesome. I did actually get a new tank for him that I'm hoping to set up now over reading break. That's the goal. There's also been a bunch of crickets actually breeding in his tank. So I have a little cricket trap down there, and I've been catching quite a few. So blue-tongued skinks are awesome for anybody that wants a good starter lizard that gets a decent size, like as opposed to a bearded dragon. They're a great alternative, very easy to care for. If you want, you can basically just feed them cat or dog food as a staple diet. I don't do that, but a lot of people and breeders like Brian, Marchek, and like CritterCam and stuff actually do that. So it's definitely possible. You guys can do that if you want. Now, and last part of this video is the chameleons. This is Kai, the super translucent male veil chameleon. I'm going to be getting him a new cage, and that's when I move him into his new cage. I will be upgrading his cage to a 2 foot by 2 foot by 4 foot tank. I just can't accommodate it right now as it sits because, well, essentially this is just a little too low. Like it's 4 feet tall, because that's how big these cages measure. That back there is the original Veiled Chameleon Rango. He's doing awesome. Getting pretty old, but he's still doing amazing. So that wraps up the reptile room tour, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. If you like my channel, be sure to subscribe down below. While you're down there, leave a like. That lets me know that you want to see more of these videos. If you made it this far into the video, leave the word Rick in the comment section down below, and that lets me know that you actually made it to the very end. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Grab Phoenix, out of here.